is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show. Hope you're all doing well. Happy 4th of July week. It is July 2nd as I record this, about 5 o'clock Central Time. I'm going to just share the screen. We're doing a live DraftKings Millie draft. It's a $10 entry. First place is $1 million. We drew the second pick, so I'm pretty happy with that. We're going to probably lock in Jamar Chase. I think whenever I get the first or the second pick, I just lock in JJ at the 1 and I lock in Chase at the 2, because that's really the only times that you're going to get these guys in your portfolio. So we will star Mr. Chase. If we do happen to get Justin Jefferson, that's cool too. But this draft starts in about 50 seconds. Again, hope you guys are all doing well. I do want to do a sneak peek as well. If you guys want to go check out, I have a new article up on thefantasyfellowship.com. If you scroll down a little bit on the homepage, it's called 2022 RB Targets. You click into here, and I found some data that is really interesting, showing that, you know, the fantasy points per target versus the fantasy points per carry, it's much different. It's heavily targeted. It's heavily towards the targets. So this article just kind of looks at running back targets from last year and identifies some guys for us. So check that out if you want. I'm probably going to make a video on that either tomorrow or at some point next week. We'll kind of dive into that. But we want running backs that catch the football. It's pretty simple. And then throughout the video, we will be looking at my projections and going through some of my rankings and stuff when we are up to pick. And then, we'll pull up the schedule, the week 15, 16, 17 schedule throughout the video as well. But the draft is officially underway. Hope you guys are all doing well this evening here. Well, damn, it is well, damn. I'm sorry. I put it out there a few minutes before the show, and look at this. We do end up getting Justin Jefferson. So this one's pretty cool. This almost never happens. We're gonna collect JJ here at number 2. This is a gift. You take it when you can get that first or second overall pick. You know you're taking JJ or Chase, but I'm sorry, man. I did enter the contest about 4 or 5 minutes ago, so maybe we got in a different one. Not sure, but either way, we got plenty of summer to get into these best balls, and I think in the future I'm going to continue to do this where I set the schedule ahead of time and I'll let you guys know when I'm going to enter the lobby, so I can do better at that to make sure we get in the same lobby together. But I'm going to pull up the draft board here, and if you guys have not drafted on DraftKings yet and you've drafted on like Underdog or Drafters, DraftKings gets a little weird. It's kind of fun. There's a little bit different users on DraftKings. I think it's a more common site for best ball players here, so you get a little bit uncommon situations, like Jamar Chase going 101, Travis Kelce at the 3, CMC 4, Cup 5. We're back onto our standard ADP here, but hope you guys are all doing well this Sunday. I've got nothing going on the rest of the evening here, so we'll do this. And then I'm trying to think what's going on next week. Hope you guys all have some time for vacation. I'm off on Tuesday. I'm kind of working tomorrow, but Wednesday I have a special, I'm going to be a special guest on an episode of Football Guys that I'm super pumped about. So if you guys watch Football Guys, I'll be on the couch with Sigmund Bloom. Looking forward to that on Wednesday morning. I'm not sure if it's a live show. I think he uploads it later, but there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Jalen Waddle here at the 107. So insane reach here. And there goes Tyreek Hill. I've never seen Jalen Waddle go ahead of Tyreek Hill, but that's kind of what you get with these DraftKings drafts. And I know what about a week or so ago, I made a really bad error. I was messing with my queue, and I had a player at the queue that I shouldn't have had. I ended up taking him like in the top 10 of this draft, and it was not a good selection. I just missed my pick. But anyways, it looks like we're kind of back to normal now. Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Bijan Robinson, and now that we got JJ at 2, I think we'll end up looking for a running back and a receiver here at the 2-3 turn. Good afternoon, Chase. Someone took Hyatt at the 203. Oh my God. Flamingos, Downs, and Mims. Yeah, that one's weird. I like Hyatt, but I think the NFL draft and all the NFL teams basically told us what they think of Hyatt. He was a pretty big faller, as well as Josh Downs, who I thought, to me, like before the draft, I thought he was like the 6th or 7th best receiver in the class. But Mingo and Mims are definitely the two that I would take over Hyatt and Downs. I want to actually pull that up. Let's go ahead and look at we'll go look at my dynasty rankings real quick. I'm just curious to see where I've got these 4 receivers here. Go to the rookie tab. Let's see. I mean, I got I got Marvin Mims, Jonathan Mingo here at the 12, 13 spots here. I'm a little bit lower on some of these guys. I like Jaden Reed, Rashee Rice. I do have, where is Josh? I have Josh Downs pretty low. I'm kind of nervous about that landing spot for him. And then Jalen Hyatt, I have him as the 25th ranked player here. And it sounds like it, man, just from some of the things you've been telling me throughout the last day or so. But hey, we'll take it, man. Continue to take those high upside players. I'm pretty excited about Mims. I think Mims is the guy. Like, I had a dynasty draft. We did it like the weekend after the NFL draft. I had a first round pick. I traded out and I ended up getting some future picks for it. But I ended up taking Mingo at like 201 or 202. So I got Mingo. I'm excited about that. The Panthers seem really excited about Mingo. It sounds like they're gonna use him, as a flanker, and he can be maybe like an Anquan Bolden type player where he's moving around the field and he's just a big body target. They're gonna manufacture touches for him. So I like Mingo, but I regret not being able to get Mims on my team in that draft. Mims is the guy. And if not, man, if you can't get Mims, I like the tight end Sam Laporta, Michael Mayer if they're still there. If you want to take a flyer on Jaden Reed, Rashee Rice, Tajay Spears, even Tank Bigsby or Sean Johnson, I think all those guys are probably in play for you. But I kind of like Laporta. He's been a guy that I've been coming around to, and I know rookie tight ends, they don't really do much for us in fantasy, but I think year 2 is where Laporta could be. He could be a tight end 1. But anyways, we're on deck here. It looks like this draft has kind of returned to normal. You're seeing some quarterbacks go early here. Just missed out on Nick Chubb. Garrett Wilson falling to 2-9. That seems like a pretty crazy fall. Let's go to the player tab and see what I got. I got 20 seconds. I got Allen, Olave, Devonta, T. Higgins. I think I'm going to stick to my board. I'm just going to grab my favorite player here and my best available. That's Chris Olave. And we'll bounce it over to the first guy and see what he's got. When I filter my rankings or my projections by flex, let's kind of zoom in here. I do have Olave as my 19th ranked player, so I do grab my best available here. And if I want to look at running back, we can maybe look at Jacobs. Or I could take Devonta Smith next. We'll see. Oh, damn. Laporta went 201. Okay, so everyone's excited about Laporta. It's good, man. He's going to be a good player this year. So I get the 2 guys that I wanted available here. It looks like the guy just took Higgins and Burrow. So they're like, wow, he got the Chase Higgins Burrow stack. Kind of reached for it. I think you can get that at times. But Josh Allen, Devonta Smith, Josh Jacobs. We're gonna take Devonta Smith at our wide receiver 3 spot, and I'm just gonna go 3 wide receivers early: JJ, Olave, Devonta Smith. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I can't stack Devonta with Jalen Hurts, but we got outs with Kirk and we got outs with Mr. Carr. Let's see. And you have Pitt, so you don't need a tight end. Okay, I get it then. We're fine. Yeah, it's a good trio. I think Devonta Smith's going to give me a good value because in DraftKings you do have to start 3 wide receivers. I think Devonta Smith in my wide receiver 3 spot, I think he's going to be a big advantage for me there because I'm just curious. Nobody else has 3 wide receivers yet. This AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb team might be able to compete, but I've kind of cornered the top 3 receiver room in this draft here. And it looks like Josh Jacobs, DK Metcalf, Josh Allen go. So hopefully we don't – I don't get the Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, T. Higgins pull here. I mean, it makes sense, but he kind of reached on it. I let him have Higgins, so I guess I was being nice. But I've been in a lot of drafts where if you get Jamar Chase at 2, you can get Higgins at the 211, and then if you're patient, you can get Joe Burrow down here at 411. So I don't know if I like this strategy. I've seen a lot of people also do like Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson at this turn. And again, that's kind of reaching because there's times where you can get Mark Andrews in the late 3rd and come around and still get Lamar Jackson. So reaching for this, I don't know if that makes sense to me, but it is to each their own. But yeah, let's and I do want to pull up my best ball cheat sheet while we're doing this because now I have 3 teams here, and this is an article within the 2023 playbook if you guys want to go check it out and you're doing best ball drafts. I have all weeks 15, 16, and 17 pulled up here, and then I identified the best matchups or the best teams to target during this, and it looks like we have Justin Jefferson, Chris Olave, and Devonta Smith on our teams here, so we can maybe lean into a Philadelphia Eagles situation. Philly's going to get Seattle, Giants, Arizona Cardinals week 17, so that could be kind of fun. We also have Minnesota. They get Cincinnati, Detroit, and Green Bay. Those are three games that I like quite a bit to be high scoring. In Green Bay, that game's in Minnesota, so it's a dome game. So Cincinnati outside, dome with Detroit and Green Bay. So maybe we lean. I mean, if TJ Hawkinson comes back around, I might be intrigued to grab TJ Hawkinson and kind of build out a Vikings thing. What's up, Aiden? Hope you're doing well, my man. We're just hanging out. We're doing the $10 DraftKings Millie Maker. We'll see what we can pull off with this one. We ended up getting JJ at 2, which seems kind of cool. It happens every now and then, but you got to take it when you can get it. So I think in my mind right now, I'm very interested in looking at Vikings and New Orleans Saints. And I did a data study too that identified the easiest schedules in 2023. And I believe the Falcons were number 1 and the Saints are number 2. They have the second easiest schedule. Their average opponent's going to have 7.7 wins this year, which means, that's like a 7-10 football team. So we want to target New Orleans Saints. They have a pretty soft schedule, and I'm happy with it. Yeah, that one hurts, but it's, if anything, like, it's surprising that Dame hasn't been traded already. It's been 2-3 years since that kind of trade rumor's been rumbling. So kind of like my man with Aaron Rodgers, man. It was just time. He gave us more time than I think we needed, but it sucks. And it's a good, it's a big money draft. I think first place is $1 million. I'm not sure what the other payouts are, but I have done a handful of these. I've got a lot of DraftKings Millie Maker drafts so far. I think this is my 31st one, but we shall see. I'm trying to continue to maintain my exposures and make sure I'm drafting players at an even rate. But let's recap the 4th round here. You see Travis Etienne go 4-1, Keenan Allen, Jahmyr Gibbs, Joe Mixon, Jerry Jeudy, and then a little bit of a reach here on George Kittle. This guy's interesting. He reached for Jalen Waddle in the 1st round. He grabs a falling Ramondre Stevenson, which is a nice pick. And then you see George Kittle fall here. And then I did mention Team 11. He's got 4 wide receivers. He's got A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Calvin Ridley, and Keenan Allen. So leaning into the wide receiver start, I like it. So that one's – I don't know what Arizona's doing, man. They have potentially 2 top 5 picks next year. I'm going to assume they're going to get at least – I think they're going to get the first overall pick. I would bet the Cardinals are the favorite to finish last this year in the NFL. So Cardinals maybe with the number 1 pick. They also, I think they have Houston's pick. So maybe 2 top 5 picks. Man, it's gonna be tough to pass on some of these guys. They either trade out of it. I think Kyler Murray, they paid him a big contract. That's going to be hard to get out of. It really depends on how he responds this year. I think Kyler Murray is going to play at some point. Whether it's 4 or 6 games that he sits out for, we'll see what he gets. But it's tough. I think they might have to move on from him. But we're up to pick here. We got Justin Fields, Christian Watson. There's Hawkinson, Mike Williams, DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, Aaron Jones. I could maybe try a little Justin Herbert, Mike Williams situation here. I have been liking that. I got 10 seconds to do the job. I'm just going to collect TJ Hawkinson here at ADP, 47th overall. And we have a Vikings build. We have JJ, we have Hawk. We'll see what this guy does here at the turn. He takes Terry McLaurin. Let me kind of zoom out here a little bit. He takes Terry McLaurin, and what else do we got? I think the Falcons should go get Trey Lance and see what happens. They need a running quarterback. Terry McLaurin and Aaron Jones go off the board. We're back on the clock. Jay Fields, Watson, Mike Williams. Alexander Madison's here. I could pull the trigger on him and just lean into the Vikings offense. I don't hate it. It kind of caps the upside sometimes, but I'm gonna say let's do it. Let's get that running back 1 in there. I don't know if it's a good idea to stack a running back with my passing weapons, but we'll get Madison in here. It's the guy that's going to get a lot of volume. And I haven't taken Madison a lot, so I kind of like it. The Riddler. I think Ritter can be okay. Basically, all the Falcons need is the Falcons are the Titans offense reincarnated. They just need a guy to be Ryan Tannehill. They don't need much. They just need someone that can manage the offense, work a little bit with his legs, hand the ball off, and keep the team in good situations. Ritter can maybe do that. I don't think he's ever going to be like an all-pro guy. But if Ritter can it's like bumper bowling. That's all the Titans and the Falcons are asking their quarterback to do. So I think he can be efficient. He just needs to continue to develop here. I think he's going to have a better year than people expect. He looked okay last year, but yeah, it's kind of a shot in the dark. But yeah, I think the Falcons might be in the quarterback market next year, and that's kind of the good thing here. Like they get to give Ritter a chance. If he fails, he fails. Either way, they're going to run the ball. They do have a good backup in Taylor Heineke, so like that's why like I still like to take Kyle Pitts. I still like to take Drake London because like if Ritter stinks, Taylor Heineke's there. And last year, Taylor Heineke proved that he can still, keep his receivers on schedule for fantasy with Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, even Curtis Samuel at times. And then Heineke can dump off to the running back too. I think a guy like Heineke could be a really good player for that offense because I think the Commanders, they just let Heineke whip it around too much. He needs to kind of be dialed back a little bit. So I'm still in on Falcons pass catchers, Pitts in London. I think it's not a bad idea to grab those guys this year. Let me go back to the board here for you guys. And right now we got a Vikings build going. Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, Alexander Madison. We'll see what happens. I do think they are going to be one of the better scoring offenses this year. In terms of schedule, the Vikings do have one of the tougher schedules this year. I mean, for the most part, their teams are going to be right around 500. And again, the Vikings are going to get the Cincinnati Bengals, the Detroit Lions, and the Green Bay Packers. So I think at this point now that I'm building a Vikings team, I want to tack on some Bengals. I want to tack on some Lions and some Green Bay Packers to help me get through the fantasy playoffs. I probably should have taken Christian Watson here, but look, he fell all the way to 5'8", which is interesting. Anything else stick out here? You see, I'm starting to see regularly Justin Herbert go ahead of Justin Fields. That's something that the market's been doing lately. It looks like Trevor Lawrence goes 5'11", and wow, Rachaad White at 5'12". That's probably the highest I've seen Rachaad White go. And Tua Tagovailoa 6.1. So this guy is loco here, drinking the juice. Rachaad White and Tua Tagovailoa, big reaches here. You probably could have got those guys both at the 7-8 turn. So interesting strategy. We'll see how it pays out for him. But Cam Akers, Lockett, Marquise, Swift, Brandon Ayuk. We got a well-balanced draft so far. I think I'm going to be able to get Kirk Cousins down here at the 8-9 turn. We'll see what happens. And essentially at this point, I'm trying to get better at this. I want to be respectful to my neighbors in the draft. Like clearly, this guy's got the Bengals. He's got Chase, Burrow, Higgins. I'm going to probably let him have Boyd when it comes time to it. But I want to be mindful of what my neighbors are doing. So this guy here at the 3 spot, he's got 3 running backs, no receivers yet. He's going to pound wide receivers here. So maybe I want to make sure I grab some wide receivers because it sounds like those are going to go off the board soon. Kadarius Toney at 6.8. And we're on the board here. Deontay Johnson, Dallas Goedert at tight end, Dameon Pierce, Michael Pittman Jr. There is Smith-Njigba. There's Kyle Pitts. I already have a tight end though. This one's easy. I think I got to go with Deontay Johnson. Yeah, I'm going to go with Deontay Johnson here. Just lock in another good wide receiver in the flex. So the thing with Watson is his college profile was incomplete. Not a lot of people thought he could, run a full route tree and do all the things that are needed of a stud receiver. So this year's going to be big for him to take a step forward as a route runner, develop his tree and things like that. But we're back on the clock here. I kind of want to get JSN. I'm interested in Pittman. I love Treylon Burks. I've drafted him enough, but maybe I'm gonna take JSN here. Just collect him because at the moment right now I have JJ, Olave, Devonta, Deontay. So I have 4 really good wide receivers that I feel happy with. That those are going to be the dudes scoring most of my wide receiver points earlier in the year, and then maybe later in the year, JSN can kind of get ramped up. But yeah, Christian Watson, man. I think you're going to see the Packers offense be a little bit more exciting than people think. I feel like Jordan Love can keep them on track. There's going to be manufactured touches for Christian Watson. I think he's going to be a 4 to 5 catch guy per game, hopefully, and see what happens there. I think 5'8", that's where he went in this draft. That's too late. Some drafts I see him go as early as the 4th round. So that was a good, really good value here. I probably should have taken him at 5'2". But Watson, especially when you get Watson as your wide receiver 3, I think that's where he starts to look really good on your roster. he looks ideally as like your flex, as your wide receiver 4 flex. But it is what it is. In the 7th round, we see Dalvin Cook go. I'm not taking Dalvin Cook that early at 7-1. You can't tell me a landing spot for Dalvin Cook that makes him a solid running back 2 necessarily. JSN, Gabe Davis, Kyle Pitts, Darren Waller, Jahan Dotson. And man, this guy continues to take head-scratching picks. He's got James Conner in the 5th, David Njoku in the 7th. This guy's reaching on ADP quite a bit. So this is an interesting draft. Isaiah Pacheco here. We got one more guy at the turn to see what he ends up doing. And yeah, I'm excited about JSN. I have him ranked fairly low though. In my projections document, I mean, I have JSN all the way down here at pick number 80. I think he's my wide receiver 42 or something like that. But this is a projection standpoint. I think in a rankings, I'm going to probably rank him as a top 36 receiver just because, when the bullets are flying and players are getting injured, throughout the season. I mean, who knows? By November, December, we could see Jackson Smith and the Jigba just, overtake Lockett, and he's got more juice. He just looks better. He's catching more passes. I think there's an outcome, and especially rookie wide receivers, they tend to get better as the season goes on. I mean, look at Christian Watson last year. These guys tend to have their ups and downs, but maybe JSN's the guy you need down the stretch. And then there's also, I don't know if you guys are into the best ball talk, but I get a little bit of a correlation here. In best ball, you want to draft with week 17 in mind. So the Seattle Seahawks, I got JSN here. He plays Pittsburgh Steelers week 17 here. So I kind of want to continue to build out some Steelers and some more Seahawks. But we're moving into the 8th round here. It looks like Goddard fell to 7-10. That's a really good value here for him. This guy should have taken him here at the 7th spot. He should have stacked Goddard with his Jalen Hurts. This guy probably doesn't know what he's doing. But wow, Michael Pittman Jr. I mean, in the 8th round, the dude was wide receiver 18 last year, and he had Matt Ryan, Nick Foles, and Sam Ehlinger throwing the ball. I mean, that's a good value on Michael Pittman Jr. This guy, tremendous value here with Treylon Burks as his wide receiver 5 and Michael Pittman as his 6. Oh my goodness. This is my favorite draft so far in this lobby. I mean, he's got Trevor stacked with Ridley. He's got stud wide receivers. He does have a nice Cam Akers RB1. We'll see if he can continue to build out his running back room. But man, those 6 receivers. And yeah, I think people think that Anthony Richardson can't throw the ball. Like he doesn't need to. As long as Anthony Richardson's throwing around 60% completion rate, that's going to be fine for Pittman. Pittman's a big target. I think for smaller receivers, I would worry a little bit more, but Pittman's a big body. I think he's going to be just fine. And at these prices, man, I think at these prices, that just seems a little much. But we're almost up to pick. And yeah, I mean, I traded for Pittman in Dynasty last year, and even though his season was up and down, it still worked out. And oh my goodness, we got some good players available here, guys. We got Addison, Montgomery left available here. We just missed out on George Pickens, but these 2 picks right here, Addison would help us with our Vikings mega stack, and we get it. We get Jordan Addison to fall to us here. Hallelujah. We have a huge Vikings mega stack going on here. Hopefully this guy doesn't take our Kirk Cousins. Hopefully he's nice to us. We've been good to you, my man. Be good to us. Just give us Kirk. And then, I mean, David Montgomery here. Yeah, he should take David Montgomery with one of these picks. Wow, I have to pass on Montgomery here. I got to take Kirk Cousins. He's not going to come back around. So, all right. Vikings mega stack is complete. We got Kirk, Madison, JJ, Addison, and Hawkinson. We can even tack on KJ Osborne if we want for the mega stack. Whew. I have not been able to achieve this kind of stack before, so that's pretty exciting. Pretty good mega stack here. Wow, David Montgomery falling to 9.4. I get it's a full PPR website, but he should still be. If Montgomery's your RB2 going into the year, you're probably feeling pretty good about that. So after I take Kirk Cousins, you see Juju go 9-3, David Montgomery, Mike Thomas, Jameson Williams, Alan Lazard, And we're definitely going to need to pivot and look at running back soon. I do want to make sure we get Derek Carr on this team. And there's still a handful of Saints players that are available, whether it's Jamal Williams, Kendre Miller, Rashid Shaheed. I mean, Derek Carr, obviously, and then the tight ends, Juwan and Taysom Hill. We could build out a nice little stack there with the Saints and basically get a Saints-Vikings build, which could be fun. Let's see what else we got here. I just want to look at some of the players available here, some guys that are falling. It's pick number 105 right now. Elijah Moore is falling. Like, he should have been picked by now. Jamal Williams goes at 105. That's a bit of a reach. He should have been, around the 120s. Rashad Bateman's a good pick in the 9th round. I like that one. I don't know why Elijah Moore's falling here. I want as many Elijah Moore shares as I can get this year. Man, oh man, I like our receivers though a lot. JJ, Olave, Devonta, Deontay, JSN, and Addison. So 2 stud rookies and some pretty good veteran receivers with a Madison, Cousins, Hawkinson build. Yeah, we're going to look at running backs. I mean, I don't expect any of these guys to fall to us, but I will take Pirine, Robinson, Gibson, Charbonnet. I'll even take A-Chain if he's there. I don't need McKinnon. I'll star him here. We could take a stab at one of the Eagles backs, Rashad Penny, Damian Harris. There's a lot of – we're probably going to end up taking 2 backs here, but we'll see. I might be able to stretch it and kind of, continue to build a light running back build. Let's see here. All right, QB's falling to the end of the 9th round. Anthony Richardson and Jared Goff. Man, it's crazy. I think the Anthony Richardson fall is going a little bit too far. He should have been picked before Aaron Rodgers for sure. Rodgers offers no rushing upside. And then Jared Goff, good pick there. It looks like he stacked him with Amon-Ra St. Brown, so you can't argue with it. And then Khalil Herbert, Brian Robinson to start the 10th round. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. I see a few guys hanging out in the chat room and in the live feed with us. I appreciate you guys all for hanging out with me on this Sunday. Hope you guys have a lovely 4th of July. I love the 4th of July week because it's like nothing really matters. Like, everyone's kind of like treating it as like a huge vacation week. So it's a good week. But my, oh my, Elijah Moore falls all the way to 10.5. Like on Underdog, which is a half PPR site, Elijah Moore goes like 8.2. That's a huge, huge value. The owner in our Dynasty One League just asked me if we want to get together sometime tonight to knock out some picks. Yeah, I mean, if you can get, even if you can get like, 7 or 8 of the dudes together in a live, a live chat or a live video stream or something, it helps push it around. And just, you got to kind of push people around sometimes and get them to get together for the picks. We're almost up to pick again. I'm kind of liking what's available here. The running backs are getting hit. We can maybe get Geno Smith here stacked with JSN. I wouldn't be opposed to that and continue to build out our Steelers Seahawks thing here. Zach Charbonnet just went. That one kind of hurts. Daniel Jones and Geno Smith both falling. We can maybe backdoor some giant stacks here. Devin A-Chain still on the board. Rashad Penny, Damian Harris, Jacoby Myers. And the running backs got lit up. All right, do we take a QB2? Daniel Jones, Geno Smith. We can maybe wait for Derek Carr on the comeback here. I'm gonna lock in A-Chain just because I don't want to miss on him, and he's just another high upside rookie that I don't expect him to be of much use at the beginning of the year, but as the season goes on, maybe he gets more involved in the offense kind of thing. And yeah, he's our RB2 right now, but I don't expect him. Yeah, too much time to think is sometimes a bad thing. Adam Thielen at 10-12. Okay. Zay Jones. We're back on the clock. Nobody's taking these QBs. You got Daniel Jones and Geno Smith. He should have taken Tyler Boyd for his Bengals stack. I'm surprised he didn't. Rashad Penny here. Damian Harris here. I like some of the receivers here as well. I'm gonna fall into Rashad Penny. I don't love it, but I like Rashad Penny's talent when he's healthy. We need running backs. Rashad Penny, maybe maybe he's our running back too for the first handful of games while A-Chain gets his feet wet. But we're going to continue to build out the running back room. And yeah, that's what I thought, man. Like, I liked Gino here, but there's a reason he was falling a little bit. And the fact that I can get Derek Carr maybe just at the turn here, I'm hoping QBs hang on here. I would love to get Carr, Olave, and then on top of that too, I can maybe stack some more Saints, whether it's Rashid Shaheed, Jawan, Taysom. Some more Saints weapons sounds like a good build to me. So hopefully we can get Derek Carr. I should have maybe taken Derek Carr there, though. And wow, Taysom Hill off the board. Speak of the devil. KJ Osborne wouldn't have been a terrible pick for us, but again, we're already so heavy in the Vikings. I don't know if he does much for us, but I do like KJ Osborne quite a bit at this point of the draft. Sometimes he dips into the 12th round, and that's where I like to snag him up. But I think we're going to start to see a lot of tight ends start to come off the board. And things are going to pivot back towards tight end and quarterback here. Jordan Love off the board there. He's stacked with Romeo Doubs. Yeah, Taysom Hill at 11. This guy's been on a heater all draft, starting off with Jalen Waddle. He reaches for George Kittle by a good round. He reaches on James Conner by a good 2 or 3 rounds. Reaches on Njoku by at least 2 rounds. Lazard probably by a round. Odell Beckham by a round. Pirine was good value, and then another reach on Taysom Hill. So he's having a good time. Damian Harris, 11-11. That's a good pick. Then we'll see what the final pick of the 11th round is. I'm going to scope out some more running backs for the queue here. I love Jalen Warren on my bench. I like Bigsby. Foreman's been falling. I do like Foreman. I like Kendre a lot. I wouldn't be opposed to any of these guys here. We're going to take a lot of flyers on running back. I might even line up a Kenneth Gainwell or a Tajay Spears later. So, we're gonna try and make a huge running back group here. We do love our receivers: JJ, Olave, Devonta, Deontay, JSN, and Addison. We maybe only need 1 or 2. We need 1 for sure, but maybe I don't know if we need 8 yet. I might continue to build a running back room. Tight end, we're good with TJ Hawk. I wouldn't be opposed. Juwan Johnson's kind of free later. Wouldn't be opposed to him. And we can build out some tight ends later. I like the tight ends the deeper the draft gets. So Russell Wilson just went off the board. We now are on, and there goes Derek Carr. This guy just had to take his Derek Carr with his Jamal Williams and Alvin Kamara stacks. That one hurts. Oh well, that's okay. There's plenty of other QBs in the sea. Whether it is, Stafford's a guy that falls a lot. We could get Kenny Pickett. We do have him with Deontay Johnson. I don't know if I love that pick. I'd take a ton of Brock Purdy. And we have Kirk Cousins, so I don't think it's necessary for us. We'll just pull a quarterback when the value presents itself. But yeah, that one hurts. We should have maybe taken Derek Carr above ADP. Wow, Mike Gesicki. This dude is insane. Sergeant Martin, number 80. This dude is off the chain right now. 4 tight ends, 4 receivers, 3 running backs, 1 QB. All of his team is pretty much reaches at this point. So he's going to be unique. I guess that's something. You got to be unique in these tournaments. So I like it. Sky Moore, I would have taken Sky Moore if he kept falling. Jacoby Myers, another good pick this late. I kind of like some of the receivers in this round, like Gallup, Nico, Sky, Jacoby. I take a lot of these guys here. And MVS, they're giving us Rondale Moore for free. I'm going to, let me see here. Does this guy need, this guy's probably taking a running back. I'm going to lock in Jalen Warren. And if we can get Rondale Moore on the comeback, I think we played that pretty well. If I have to take Bigsby, I'll take Bigsby. Come on, baby. Give us Rondale Moore. Round 13, Rondale Moore. He should have been gone in the 11th. So there goes Stafford. And again, at QB, I think I'm good with Cousins. We're going to lock Cousins in, I think, starting for most of our – he's going to start 80% of our games anyway, so I don't know if I need to reach on a QB here. And then Rashid Rice off the board. So, do I take a Rondale Moore here to be my wide receiver 7? Like, his numbers were pretty good at the end of last year. I don't know if I can see him on here, but his game log of fantasy points, let's see, 18, 14, 23 – 10, 13, and he's a low ADOT guy, but Colt McCoy and whoever going to be his quarterback. So we will take Rondale Moore wide receiver 7, and I doubt Kyler Murray falls back to us, but hey, you never know. All right, go back to the draft board here. So we got 4 running backs now. Alexander Mattison hopefully locked in, to our running back 1 for the majority of the year. A-Chain, Penny, and Jalen Warren are going to chip in. Even if it's 6 to 7, 8 points as our RB2 for now, that's fine. But unless they pop off for a touchdown, that's great too. We'll figure it out along the way. You got Gerald Everett, Darnell Mooney, Tyler Higbee. And I just want to do a test, guys. Do you guys like when there's background music in videos? I can kind of turn this up a little bit. I don't know if you guys are into it. There's on my StreamYard, you can kind of mess around with some background music in the percentage levels, but I don't know. If it's annoying, I'll turn it off. If not, let's just vibe out. Continue drafting good teams. And oh my God, Sergeant Martin's got 5 tight ends. Sergeant Martin, number 80. Kittle, Njoku, Taysom Hill, Mike Gesicki, and Jawan Johnson. Oh my goodness. This is funny. This is I haven't seen a team take 5 tight ends, especially in the first 13 rounds. So you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Let's recap the 13th round. After I take Rondale Moore, you see Gerald Everett down here, Darnell Mooney, Tyler Higbee. I like the Tyler Higbee pick this late. I'm starting to gravitate towards more Kyler Murray. We were talking about Murray earlier in the video. The reports around him are kind of optimistic. Like, he might only miss 3 or 4 games. So, like, if he just misses September and he's out there in October, maybe he takes a little bit of time to get, back into the swing of things. He's got a knee injury, so he needs to kind of get his feet back under him. But Murray could be a really good value pick at this point in drafts, and I've been trying to make sure I get him in my drafts of late. So it sucks that you couldn't get him there. But Jawan Johnson, Cole Kmet, Isaiah Hodgins, Tyler Algier, Irv Smith, and Tajay Spears, Richie James. All right. I appreciate it. I'll turn it down just a little bit. I think that was I had it at 25%. Now we're back down there. So good to go. And I'm just playing around with it. I don't know if I like it or not. When I watch back my video, I'll kind of make an assessment and see if it's too loud, but it's a nice little adder for the audio listeners there. And if you guys ever miss the YouTube videos, we are on Spotify, Apple, all that stuff. And on Spotify, you can actually watch the video there too. I don't think the other podcast platforms have video yet, but good value picks here. I like Tajay Spears. That's a little bit early for him. But Kendre Miller, Tank Bigsby, we got another reach here on Richie James. These DraftKings lobbies are pretty fun. I don't like L3G. Like, do you do a lot of DraftKings? Where do you play most of your where do you do most of your best balls? Like, I play DraftKings, Underdog, and Drafters. I have way more invested into Underdog and Drafters right now, so I'm trying to catch back up and get more, more DraftKings exposure right now. And my, oh my, huge running back round here. 5 in a row. Kendre, Bigsby, Zeke, Raheem, and Cordero Patterson off the board in the 14th round. I have 4 running backs. I'm going to need some more here. I don't know if there's anything good available left anymore, but let's take a peek here. I mean, I like Rashawn Johnson. That's a good pick. I like if we can get Gainwell with our Rashad Penny, I'm happy with that. I take Jeff Wilson late because, dude's like, I don't know what you guys think in the comments, but like, I don't think Dalvin Cook's going to be a Miami Dolphin. I don't think the Dolphins want to pay him. They already paid Raheem. They already paid Jeff. They drafted A-Chain. They have assets at the position. They don't want to overpay underperforming Dalvin Cook to be a guy that kind of just messes things up for the backfield. So I think that is something that I'm not super excited about. And Chase Brown says to take Chase Brown. Interesting. Curtis Samuel, Dawson Knox, Laporta. Is he a top available player here? He's down the board yet. Did he already go? He's at 193. We might be able to. I think we're gonna wait and see. I think we're gonna wait and see if we can get him on the turn here. I'm gonna lock in Gainwell just because I want to make sure I get the other Eagles back to our Rashad Penny. Yeah, underdogs are tough. I I really like drafters. If you haven't drafted on drafters yet, it's full PPR and it's a non-playoff format. So it's literally just the most points throughout the whole season. So I like drafters a lot. I do have a promo code in the link in this description if you want to sign up for it. I think you get a free $20 when you deposit and play. Kenny Pickett's fallen quite a bit here. We're on 170. We have Deontay, we have JSN, we have Jalen Warren. We can probably lean into that game a little bit here. I think I'm going to go with Pickett. Quarterback 2. I'm not super excited about Pickett. Like, his numbers weren't great last year. Fantasy points, 13, 10, 13, 1.6. He didn't really play in that game, though. 13, 12, 16, 19. I don't hate it. He's going to be a double-digit guy, 13 to 16 points per game as our QB2. And again, we've already built out a pretty good Steelers-Seahawks bet. So we'll continue to lean into that a little bit. Dobbins 5.3. Interesting. All righty. After the video, Chase, we'll have to look at, you'll have to send me some of the best available guys, and we'll see where we're at. You're almost up to pick. And yeah, man, I like the DraftKings. I did all the Chihuahuas. I haven't done any of the weekly winners yet, and I have a handful of BBM4s. But at this point, I'm trying to, like, I've probably got I've done almost 300 drafts so far this summer. Most of my equity is in drafters and underdogs, so I think I'm gonna play DraftKings for the next week or so and get caught back up there. All right, there we go. So that's 8:30 for me. Let me go back to the draft board here. We'll see what's grooving. Oh my goodness, Tucker Kraft, 15.6. He goes undrafted in most leagues. This sometimes you get into these DraftKings lobbies and they get a little wild. It's kind of fun. After I took Pickett, you see Bryce Young, DPJ, Singletary, Tucker Kraft, Mac Daddy Jones, and Jeff. Ooh, nice. Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson. That's a good little tandem there. All right, perfect. I will be available. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Do you guys watch any HBO Max dudes? I got to watch Righteous Gemstones tonight at 9 o'clock. So that's my only thing, but I'll have my phone with me. So there goes Brock Purdy, 15.9. I did a video last week showing my DraftKings exposures. I showed my underdog, my drafters, and my DraftKings exposures. Right now, Treylon Burks is my number 1 pick. Brock Purdy's my number 1 quarterback, though, at 29%. Tannehill, Carr, Herbert, Goff, Smith, Kyler Murray. I'm glad we got some Kirk Cousins action into here. He's 8%. Where's my JJ shares? Oh, cool. I'm already 12% on Justin Jefferson, so we're going to boost that. Do I got Hawkinson? I think I was lower on Hawk. I was only at 6% Hawk, so we're going to boost that a little bit too. Dang. Let's see here. Oh, dang. Only 23 left. You got to take it easy, my man. Wait, if you're not on Drafters yet, Drafters is nice. It's full PPR. They have a $3 contest where I think first place is $30K. I have 110 drafts in that one at 150, so I'm trying to cool it on that one. And then I have been going into, they have a $20 contest right now, and first place to that one I think is $300K. So I've been doing a lot of those lately. But yeah, man, I'm a firm believer that these best ball contests are won in June and July. So the next 3-4 weeks, man, I want to continue to draft at a high level. August, I want to continue to draft in August, but I want to be pretty much have most of my exposures and stuff set in stone. And August is more of a reactionary month, if there's injuries or anything crazy that happens with, free agents or trades or anything like that. I want to be more reactionary in August. But holy receiver round, we missed on Chase Brown, so my apologies, Mr. Chase Brown, as well. I missed on Chase Brown. I'm actually in the belief that Travion Williams might be the running back too. He's kind of the veteran presence there. But tons of receivers off the board here. That's insane. Pretty much all receivers here in this round. Quarterbacks available. You got Desmond Riddler. I don't hate the running backs. Chuba, Gus, Ty Chandler. What do you think of Michael Mayer this late? I don't know. Wide receivers here don't really impress me. I'm going to take Gus Edwards. J.K. Dobbins has that contract situation going on right now. I'm not a super big fan of the Dobbins contract situation. I don't know if I need another quarterback right now. We got Pickett. We got Kirk. I feel decent about those two. Only one tight end, though. We now have 6 running backs, too. We got Madison, A-Chain, Rashad Penny, Jalen Warren, Kenny Gainwell, and Gus Edwards. We might need one more of those guys, but I don't know if that's a glaring need at the moment. There goes Dwayne McBride. Hyatt's falling. Jaden Reed's falling. I like Chuba here, but tight end? There's still some good ones left. Receivers here, we have 7 receivers. I'm gonna take Leonard Fournette. Whenever Leonard Fournette signs, I think his ADP is gonna jump. And dude, that's why. Oh, is that Kirk or Christian Kirk? It better not be Kirk Cousins. But with Leonard Fournette, I think there's a legit chance that he's going to sign somewhere and he's going to muck up some backfield, and I want to be ahead of Leonard Fournette. I still think the Bengals need to sign a running back too. If they sign Kareem Hunt or Leonard Fournette, I think that'd be exciting. They might also cut Joe Mixon yet. We don't know what's going on there. Who knows who else might sign a running back just yet. Henry, Swift, Pierce, Mixon, Pittman, top best available at the 5-6 right now. I kind of like Dameon Pierce if you want to lock in a running back. I know he wasn't a high draft pick, but dude's a good running back. I think he's an underrated receiving back as well. Pierce has been working on his passing down game this summer, it sounded like. So kind of like Pierce, but you'll have to let me know who the top receivers are. I would have liked Kirk there, but that's okay. All right. After I take Fournette, you see Jalen Hyatt, Michael Mayer, Chuba Hubbard, Rob Woods, Braxton Berrios, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jaden Reed, Luke Musgrave, Ty Chandler, Hayden Hurst. We have 1, 2, 3 picks left. I'm gonna need some more. I need at least 2 more tight ends, I think, and then after that we'll kind of figure it out. I like Dameon Pierce. I'm not sure where he ranks in. Let's just look at. I kind of always default to Fantasy Pros because that's just kind of like where the hive mind is at. I don't always take them for gospel, but it kind of just lets me know like what's the overall pulse on things. Not sure why that's not loading yet. We'll pull that up in a second though. Perfecto. If you want to let me know, Chase, who the top 5 or 6 receivers are, that might be helpful. All right, we'll let that load up. But all right, we're entering the 18th, 19th, and 20th round. At this point in the draft, I just kind of want to make sure I take players that either have a role I'm excited about, and I kind of just want to shoot for things that I feel good about. Like I don't want to make any guesses at this point. Leonard Fournette's kind of a guess, but I do expect him to sign with a team and have a value in a role. But Corey Davis, John Mechie, Isaiah Likely, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Mecole Hardman, Terry Pittman, Ridley, Zay Flowers, Godwin, Hopkins, Allen, Cooper, and then Burks, Dotson, Deontay. Okay. I kind of like Terry. I think Terry's pretty safe, man. We're on deck right now. Quarterbacks are falling. We can get Ritter. We can get Tannehill late if we want a 3. I do like the tight end value here that is presenting itself. Ferguson, Fant, and McBride. I take a lot of these guys late. Running backs. Pierre Strong's a good bet. I'm starting to take more Pierre Strong at the end of my drafts. He's a guy that looked good in limited duty at some points last year. All right, let's do it. We're going to take Pierre Strong. We're going 8 running backs. And looks like we're done with 7 receivers. I like our receivers. I think we got enough. And these final 2 picks will be tight end. I think at this point, it's like I think Terry's got age 27, 28, 29. He's got 3 good years for sure, maybe a 4th if you can get it. And those kind of receivers do last a little bit longer than average. Oh man, this guy just nailed both of my tight ends here. So that failed. I guess we're stuck with Noah Fant. Yeah, that backfired. I was looking for McBride or Ferguson there. But with Terry being 27, I don't know why Fantasy Pros isn't working here. With Terry being 27, I do think he's got at least 3 or 4 years left of top-end production. Let's see. Fantasy Pros has Treylon Burks ahead of him. They have Brandon Ayuk. They have Pittman Jr. pretty high. Pittman, I like Treylon Burks. I think you could maybe get him at the 602. I think I like Burks at the 602. If you can, I know you don't want to double dip into Pittman, but there's a chance that either he, is a free agent next year and signs with a better team. I don't hate Brandon Ayuk here. I also don't hate Quentin Johnson, Jahan Dotson, those kind of players here. I don't know if DJ Moore's left. I don't think he was on that list you sent me. Chris Godwin's 27 as well. I don't hate grabbing a 27-year-old receiver because I think they for sure have, especially those more finesse guys like Godwin, McLaurin, those guys have they have a better body profile than some of the bigger receivers. I think they can last a little bit longer. Think about Devontae Adams. He's 31, but people aren't scared of him. So I think as long as he has 3 to 4 years left, it's still a good dynasty buy. But I'm all in on Burks. If you can get Burks at 602, that would be the deal. Let's recap the 19th round here. After I take Noah Fant, I got sniped on I should have looked at that better. This dude didn't have any tight end, so I messed that up. I did not read the room correctly, and I preach on that so much. I did not read it. But after I take Fant, you got Marvin Jones, Chase Claypool, Desmond Ridder, Quez Watkins, Isaiah McKenzie, Wan'Dale Robinson, Logan Thomas, Israel Abanikanda, Jelani Woods, and Kevin Harris. I like the Kevin Harris pick this late too. I don't know if I'm sold on Ramondre Stevenson, guys. I had Ramondre in fantasy last year, and he was exciting because he caught a lot of passes. I don't think he was very good though with his opportunities. He wasn't a great short yardage runner. I feel like he got stuffed every time he was in the goal line situation. He's a solid player, but I think we're going to see either Pierre Strong and Kevin Harris get more opportunity this year. So the tight ends are getting nicked up here. Let me see if I can find one. I kind of want a third. Receivers left here. We can find a receiver easily, but for tight ends, Cade Otton's a starting tight end for the Bucks. My super sleeper for best ball is Durham Smythe. We'll take Cade Otton, and we'll sign off on that. So I'm going to do a recap here, guys, and then we'll get out of it. Chase, we can sync up after the draft, and you can send me the stuff on the Twitters. But anyways, we got the 102. We got the rare Justin Jefferson start, Chris Olave, Devonta Smith. So we got 3 stud wide receivers. Came back with TJ Hawkinson and Alexander Madison. So we built out a really thick Vikings build, maybe too thick. Round 6, we got a falling Deontay Johnson. On drafters, Deontay Johnson goes early 5th round. So in full PPR, I'm all in on Deontay. We got JSN here. An underdog, JSN's a late 5th round pick. Falling Jordan Addison, he's usually a 7th round pick. Kirk Cousins, A-Chain, Penny, Warren, Rondale Moore, Kenneth Gainwell, Kenny Pickett, Gus Edwards, Leonard Fournette, Pierre Strong, and then we finished with 2 tight ends, Noah Fant and Cade Otton. So that was a lot of fun. I'm going to back out of the screen share. Let me see what kind of questions we got here. Is there a site where people compare drafts? I guess I'm confused by the question. Are you talking like ADPs? Or are you what are you looking for? I do have all the ADPs posted on my website, if that's what you're looking for. If you're looking to compare drafts, do you mean like share it to Twitter, or where are you trying to compare? I finally legalized it 420. Okay, I finally understood you there, my man. But yeah, otherwise, screenshots of drafts. Twitter. I think a lot of people send. I'm on Twitter all the time just because that's where I get most of my fantasy news and I stay up to date there. I think Twitter is probably the best place to do it. I post them to there. I mean, if you just go to Twitter and type in, BBM4 on the search bar or best ball or underdog or whatever, you're going to see a lot of screenshots there. So if you want to see what people are doing, I would say get a Twitter, man. That's probably the best. I love Twitter for fantasy football. I know Twitter kind of sucks for everything else, but there's a really big fantasy football community on Twitter. That's probably the best place to do it. But anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. This is a good stream, 55 minutes strong. Had a lot of fun doing this. And yeah, we'll be in touch. We'll do another video soon. And I will see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon. Peace.